With a number of Georgia's staple crops being planted or already in the ground, farmers are now crossing their fingers that Mother Nature will provide them with adequate rainfall this growing season. However, for a third of the counties within the state, it's been a rough start as they are under drought conditions.
It's become an issue, especially for crops like corn and the forage people. The forage people are really worried because if they don't have grass, they have to feed hay to their cattle. And this time of year, hay is usually pretty scarce because it's at the end of the winter. And so that has been an issue, especially for forage.
And that will soon extend to row crops like corn, cotton, and peanuts, where adequate amounts of water are vital to proper plant development.
If we do have a dry summer, they'll put a lot of stress on plants. Usually you have soil moisture that builds up over the winter months, and then once you hit that growing season, the plants are growing. They're using whatever water they can get, unless you're in a flood. And so if they don't get enough water, then you start to see things like the leaf curling on corn plants. They just don't really thrive very well. And so farmers either have to irrigate if they have that option, or they have to figure out ways to try to get water on their crops.
And that can be a very expensive proposition for the farmers this year, as they've seen input costs reach a record high. That's why using every tool at their disposal will be important to their bottom line.
If you're a dryland farmer, there's limited amount you can do. If you got irrigation, then of course you could run the irrigation, but that's expensive this year because fuel is so expensive. And so the timing of when you do that means that a lot of the bigger farmers are using soil moisture monitoring equipment to try to do really targeted irrigation. So they're only irrigating when they have to, and they're putting on just the right amount.
And that is largely due to the second straight year of a La Nina weather pattern. While that typically means less chance of relief, there are other factors that could work in the farmer's favor.
But in a La Nina summer, we typically have drier conditions, and we've seen a lot of the last number of droughts we've had over the last 20 years since I moved here have been La Nina driven droughts. And so that is something that farmers really need to worry about. But, the tropics are the wild card here. We don't know what's going to happen with the tropics.
Even though it is predicted to be an active weather season in the Atlantic, what path these storms take will determine just how much rainfall growers can expect over the next few months.
If all the storms come over Georgia, we could end up being really wet again this year. If they go over to Texas, or if they go up the East Coast, we could be very dry, and that's going to be a big issue. So that's something we're watching. Of course, we know it's going to be an active season, but we don't know where those storms are going to go.
Reporting from Maconing County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.